Okay, everybody. This is the single leg progression. We're just going to talk through a little bit how all of the progressions work, but this is our example. It's also, I think, the first one that you'll be doing if you haven't done it already. So this is a good intro to exactly what these are. There's also a video that'll show up with this. So if you need to see how to do all the movements, because this isn't that, if you want to see how to do them, that's a different video that will show up in TrueCoach for you. So this is just sort of a general overview of how the progressions work. So the first thing, let's read the instructions. So it's 10 minutes to complete as far as you can all of these different movements. They're going to build upon each other. We'll get to that in a second. And then at the bottom, get as far as you can in the progression in 10 minutes. If you get hung up anywhere due to pain, fatigue, or strength limitation, stop there and go back to the beginning and get as far as you can. You might do the same thing several times. So the idea is not to just in a 10-minute window do like split squats and step ups and lateral step ups and then you're done, even though there's 6 minutes left. Like the idea is to cycle through this over and over and over again so you have a lot of practice. If you look at how these movements are structured, and if you don't know what they are, don't worry about it, because again, there's an instruction video that's attached to this, but each of these movements builds on a quality of the last one. So say, for example, you can do split squats, you can do the step ups to 90 degrees, you can do like 2 per side of the lateral box step up, but it feels super weird. Okay, so if you get through all that and it's been like 4 minutes, go back to the split squats and then the alternating step ups and then try the lateral box step ups again. They might go better, they might go worse, that's okay too. But the idea is by repeating the things that you've already done and can do, you're actually building the qualities that will make you better, in this case, at the lateral box step up. So what does that mean? So the split squat, the first movement, is working on a quality of side-to-side stability. It's about being able to stabilize your body so you're not falling from side to side. You're using your hips, you're using your legs, your knees, your ankles, pretty much your whole lower body is working to stabilize you. In this case, with both feet at the same time, because both feet are on the ground. Then we go to the step up to 90 degrees, where you're working something similar, stability, both side to side and forward and backward, because now you're moving, but this is only on one leg at a time, right? See how we've upgraded, we've progressed from one quality to the next. Say you're awesome at that, and we get to the lateral box step ups, where you're actually stepping up to the side instead of forward. Excuse me. So now we have a new quality, which is moving through space sideways. Say this is where you get hung up. Maybe you can't do any, or maybe you do a few, it just feels weird. By going back to the split squats and then the step ups, we get to work on the qualities that you need to get better at the lateral box step up, that side to side stability, and working with one leg at a time. So say you do that for a few weeks and then the lateral box step up is easy, no problem. We can do 5 per side, no problem. And then we go to the Cossack squats, and that's where you get hung up. So the Cossack squat is a movement that requires flexibility and mobility in your hips, and it's that side to side stability with one leg at a time, but now there's a strength element too. And so maybe that's where you get hung up. Maybe you do 1 per side and that's it. By going back to the split squats and then the step ups to 90 degrees and then the lateral box step ups too, you're working that mobility, you're working the strength on one leg at a time, and you're working that side to side stability. So the thing that's stopping you from doing the Cossack squats, that's what you're working on up to that point. Same goes for the reverse lunges, right? Maybe whatever is stopping you from being able to do reverse lunges safely, comfortably, that's actually what we're working on in the split squats, the step ups, the lateral box step ups, and the Cossack squat. So on and on and on through this progression. So by repeating the same exercises a couple of times, right, if you have to stop and go back, you're actually building the quality that will help move you forward to the next and the next and the next and the next and the next thing. The cool thing about this too is say you just start as an expert at all of these things, which is super possible. If you start really comfortable with all these movements, you can cycle through it a few times, which means now instead of just working on a skill, we're accumulating volume, which basically means you're doing more and more and more work. That's going to help you gain strength and stamina and endurance because you're not focusing just on a skill, which it has its own benefits. You're actually able to start really executing the strength and conditioning portion of our strength and conditioning program. You're not just learning the skill, which is super important and we'll be using the skill later. You're also taking this opportunity to work on your strength and stamina and endurance. And what I love about these progressions is that they fit both ends of the spectrum really, really well. So someone who maybe is just starting to work on their strength, this is a great way to accumulate the skills that we'll need later on. And folks who've been doing this for a while and know what all these things are and are good at them already, we get to start working on that strength early. That's awesome. You have a leg up. That was a single leg progression joke. All of the progressions work this way. They are all based on this compounding effect of starting with one skill and getting better and better and better and better and better, and accumulating skills and accumulating volume. So 10 minutes is for now, a really good range. It's a good amount of time because it's long enough to get sort of a conditioning response by doing this stuff over and over again, but not too long to the point of, okay, I've been here forever and I'm bored and I don't know what to do because I've been doing the same 2 exercises for 20 minutes or whatever. That 10 minutes ideally would be full of movement the whole time. So a good nuance to keep in mind is if you find yourself sort of getting to a movement and you can do one, but it takes about 60 seconds for you to be able to do the second one, stop there and go back because again, you're being productive anyways by doing this stuff, even if you already know what to do. So this is how the progressions work. Guys, I'm super excited. If you've done these already, let me know in the comments. Let me know how they go because if they're great, we can work them and keep doing them. And if they're not great, we can make changes. So please leave comments. Please leave questions if you have them. Share your experience because we can all learn from each other. So if one person found that doing something a certain way makes it easier, great. If another person has a question that someone else had that didn't know they had that question, that's also super helpful. So this program is about us and getting feedback so I can make it the best possible program for you guys. So please leave comments and questions. We'll talk soon.